Okay, let's unpack this. We're doing a deep dive today on a story that I think really gets into a psychological minefield a lot of us have to navigate.
That tension between where you're from and who you want to become.
Exactly. We're focusing on the life of Lily Bloom. On the surface, she's this successful professional, but her ambition is constantly at war with this cycle of trauma from her childhood.
That's right. Our sources give us this really rich picture of Lily tracing her path from Plethora, Maine, where her father was the town's beloved but secretly abusive mayor, all the way to Boston.
In the whole story, really, the emotional core of it hinges on two men.
It does. Ryle Kincaid, the brilliant but very destructive neurosurgeon she ends up marrying.
And Alice Corrigan, the figure from her teenage years who sort of represents this compassionate foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So our mission today is to get past just the plot. We want to really analyze the psychology of it all.
Yeah. How does early trauma actually inform the choices you make in love as an adult?
And how do these abusive dynamics get started, even when there's real affection there? So by the end, you, the listener, will have a kind of shortcut to understanding just how complex these situations can be.
Okay, so let's start in the present. In Boston, Lily's adult identity.
She has all the markers of success, right? Master's degree, good marketing career. She's financially secure.
But her real dream, the thing she's truly passionate about, is opening her own floral shop.
And the name she eventually lands on is Lily Bloom's, which at first she actually pushes back on. She thinks it's a bit too on the nose.
Which is such a small but telling detail. You know, it's like she's afraid to fully claim her own identity, even in something she's building for herself.
We also learned that before Boston, her main outlet for aggression really was gardening.
And not just gentle gardening. She would pull weeds until her hands bled. It was this physical, almost violent way of managing her inner turmoil.
That need to control something, to purge what's unwanted, is so important.
It is, because she loses that outlet in the city.
Yeah.
And all that pressure kind of explodes on the night she meets Ryle Kincaid.
On a rooftop, right after her father's funeral of all things.
Yeah. And Ryle is just, he's a walking contradiction from the second she sees him.
Totally. He smells like money, he's wearing a Burberry shirt, he's a top neurosurgeon.
But he's also just kicking a chair. Over and over, a marine-grade polymer chair. And Lily notes that even her violent father couldn't have damaged that material.
So his aggression is this huge red flag, but it's also familiar to her, and the attraction is just instant.
In their first conversation, it really lays the groundwork for their entire relationship. They start sharing what they call naked truths.
Ryle goes first. His truth is that he's ruthlessly ambitious. He's anti-marriage, anti-kids.
He basically says he's too selfish for a real relationship because he's laser-focused on his career. He's telling her exactly who he is.
And he frames it as this admirable self-awareness.
Mm-hmm. And Lily, she meets that intensity with her own really dark truth.
She admits that her father was abusive to her mother, but that sometimes she actually looked forward to the fights.
Wow.
Yeah. Because after the violence, there was always this period of calm, gifts, flowers, dinners, the honeymoon phase.
And that is the psychological trap right there. She learned from a young age that pain and violence were the price of admission for peace and affection.
She even wonders aloud if she and her father were both bad people, because she was conditioned by that cycle. It's just textbook trauma bonding waiting to happen.
And that conflict was on full display at the funeral itself with what the sources call her anti-eulogy.
She gets up to the podium and she just stands there in complete silence for 2 whole minutes.
Because she couldn't name 5 good things about her father. It's this act of silent rebellion that's so much louder than words.
And Ryle's reaction to this is to call her his hero for roasting a dead guy.
It feels like they're bonding over honesty, but really they're bonding over trauma, and that creates this very intense but very false sense of safe vulnerability.
Okay, so let's put a pin in the present day for a minute. To really get Lily, you have to go back. Way back.
Yeah, and the sources give us this incredible window into her past through her teenage journals.
Which she addresses to.
Ellen DeGeneres. Yeah, it was the show she and her mom would watch. It was like her little escape into something kind and normal.
And these journals are where we meet Atlas Corrigan.
He's the real foundation of her resilience. He was a high school senior, homeless. His stepfather had just kicked him out.
And he was secretly living in this condemned house behind her family's place in Maine.
The details are just heartbreaking. He's freezing, no running water, just trying to survive until he can join the Marines.
And Lily's compassion is so immediate. She risks her father's anger, and you have to remember, her dad's the mayor, so any scandal would be a huge deal.
Right. But she sneaks him food, clothes, lets him shower. They'd watch Ellen together in her room.
This is also where that gardening metaphor gets really interesting. Lily has this belief that plants reward love. If you care for them, they give you beautiful things back.
It's her way of trying to find some kind of order in a chaotic world. You put good in, you get good out.
But Atlas sees it differently. He connects it directly to people.
He says, if we're neglected, we end up homeless and incapable of anything meaningful. He's basically seeing himself as a weed. He thinks his neglect makes him worthless.
But Lily, she immediately pushes back on that.
She points to this huge, strong oak tree that grew all on its own without any help. She's telling him that he has that same inherent strength.
It's such a powerful moment for him. And right before he leaves for Boston, he tells her, we're just alike. He's tying their futures together.
And his leaving is a kind of sacrifice. He tells her not to wait for him because he thinks his life will never be good enough for her.
But Lily doesn't accept that. She gives him a threat and a promise.
If you don't come back for me, I'll come for you.
Followed by the line that becomes her mantra, just keep swimming. That's the mindset she carries forward.
And knowing all that history makes her adult life with Ryle so much more tragic.
Because she does achieve her dream. She opens Lily Bloom's.
And the design is intentionally brave and bold. She uses dark colors, leather, metal. It's a symbolic rejection of the kind of gentle victimhood she saw in her mother.
But the irony is, she chooses a partner who embodies the darkness she's trying to escape.
And the first violent incident happens pretty early on. They're in the kitchen. Ryle burns his hand badly.
And he panics. He's a neurosurgeon. His hands are his entire career.
In that panic, he lashes out and shoves Lily hard. She hits her head, bruises her eye.
And her reaction, her immediate thought process is just textbook.
Her internal monologue is just, he's not like my father, he's nothing like him. It's this instant, desperate justification to hold on to the relationship.
The sources do give context for his rage, but it's not an excuse. We find out Ryle has his own deep trauma.
He accidentally killed his younger brother, Emerson, when they were kids. So any threat to his hands, to his control, sends him into this uncontrollable spiral.
And the cycle begins. He comes back. He's incredibly sorry. He's tender, just like her father used to be after the fights. The trauma bond is now locked in.
That fragile piece is just shattered when Atlas comes back into the picture.
And he's not the homeless kid anymore. He's a successful chef, owns a restaurant called Bibbs.
Which stands for Better in Boston, a direct callback to their shared past.
Ryle's reaction is, it's extreme. He doesn't see a rival, he sees a threat to his ownership of Lily.
He actually assaults Atlas. He accuses Lily of having a pity fuck with him years ago. It's incredibly cruel.
But in the middle of all that chaos, Atlas does something amazing. He slips his phone number into her phone case.
He sees the danger she's in instantly. He's giving her a lifeline.
And the breaking point comes when Ryle finds that number. And her old journals, he puts it all together.
The final attack is horrific. He's just consumed by rage. He chokes her, he headbutts her.
And then, most symbolically, he bites the little heart tattoo on her collarbone, the exact place Atlas used to kiss her.
He's trying to physically erase her past.
And in that moment, something finally clicks for Lily. She knows she has to break the cycle her mother couldn't. She has to rescue herself.
So she calls for help. Not the police, but Atlas. And crucially, she tells him to take her to any hospital but Mass General because that's where Ryle works.
Even terrified, she's already thinking about protecting her future.
And that decision gets affirmed by her mom, who finally admits she knew the anti-eulogy was a choice, an act of defiance.
She tells her, be that girl, Lily, brave and bold.
And she needs that bravery immediately because she finds out she's pregnant with Ryle's child.
So now she's facing that impossible choice. Raise her child in an abusive home or a broken one.
And she chooses the broken home. She decides her daughter will never have to wonder which version of her father she's going to get. She breaks the cycle for the next generation.
The way she names the baby is just so powerful. Emerson Dory.
It's loaded. Emerson is for Ryle's brother, acknowledging his pain and his past.
But Dory is from Just Keep Swimming. It's a symbol of her resilience and of Atlas.
She's acknowledging the past, but she's committing to moving forward.
And the thing is, the resolution with Atlas only comes after she saves herself.
Exactly. It's not about him writing in to save the day. He later admits he lied about having a girlfriend years before. He saw her happy in college and didn't want to complicate her life. It was another quiet sacrifice.
She had to be her own hero first. So when they finally meet again, she does this quick, almost funny checklist.
Yeah, does he donate to charity? Does he want kids? Is he staying in Boston? All the things Ryle was against.
And he says yes to all of it, and their story can finally, healthily begin.
The author's note on this really sums it up. The point of the story is to show that leaving, even when there's love involved, is an act of immense strength. Lily saves herself.
Right. It's not about waiting for a knight in shining armor. She was the brave and bold one all along.
So the key takeaways for you, listening. First, just how messy domestic abuse is. Love and abuse can and do exist in the same space, which makes leaving so hard.
Second, the power of those early relationships and secrets to shape your adult life. And finally, Lily's professional success, her shop wins an award, is tied to her personal recovery. Breaking the cycle allows you to thrive everywhere. But that brings us to our final thought. Ryle's past is tragic. His remorse seems genuine. But Lily's realization was brutal. No matter how good the good times were, her daughter would only remember the worst ones.
Yeah.
So it leaves you with this really provocative question, I think. When you're faced with a cycle that hurts the people you love, how often do we prioritize protecting the future over endlessly trying to redeem the past?
It's the ultimate form of self-preservation, making sure the storm stops with you.
Indeed. Something to think about. We'll leave you with that, and we'll catch you next time for the deep dive.